Hello, everybody. Try it again. The last time on earth I lived the whole world of sin. I'm so glad that I know more than I knew then. I'm gonna keep on trying till I reach the highest ground. Teachers, keep on teaching. Preachers, keep on preaching, and the world keep on turning, 'cause it won't be too long. No, it won't be too long. And I'm so darn glad he let me try it again. It's my last time on earth I lived the whole world. I'm so glad that I know more than I do then. I'm gonna keep on trying till I reach the highest ground. 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 Hey, everybody.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks, guys.
That'll teach Eric to go on vacation. I said that'll teach Eric to go on vacation.
Yes, it will. And replace him with the ghost of Karen Carpenter. Yeah, we were using a drum machine because we couldn't get a drummer today, so it's just a little musician humor. Good morning, everyone. Before I go down a rabbit hole, because I'm a threat to do it. Welcome to Unity of Bellevue. I'm Reverend Charles Perry. I'm the senior minister here, and if you're new, we want you to know that we're here to help you heal and to help you grow spiritually. And if there's anything weighing on your heart or mind today, I'd like to hear about it. I have now managed to locate where my business card holder was stashed, and I have fresh business cards on top of that little round table that's by the exit there. So grab one of those and shoot me a text or a phone call or an email, and we'll try to help get you squared away. Also, if you're new here, please make sure you visit our welcome table. It's actually a high-top bar located diagonally in that direction towards the food after the service, and you can pick up a welcome packet. There's some other good stuff there too. But those are these big white and teal envelopes that have a bunch of stuff in them, but included in there is a connection card we would like to have you fill out, and you can leave with me or one of our greeters, or like Diane's our usher this morning, or anybody that has a name tag, really, and we'll get you into the system and get you connected with our email blast that goes out every week and lets people know about all the great things that we're doing here. And if you're online, and good morning to all our friends online, you can go to our website, which is unityofbellevue.org, and then go to the I'm New page, and there's a form there you can fill out. We will snail mail you one of those welcome packets if you like. Or if you just want to get signed up for our e-blast, go to the bottom of any page on the website, and you can put in your email address, and we will get you hooked up. You know, we also want you to know that you are welcome, accepted, safe, and celebrated here, regardless of your race, creed, color, ethnicity, national origin, religious background, sexuality, gender identity or expression, economic status, or if you're a person who is differently abled. And on that note, I'd like to mention that we do have hearing assist devices available if you need. Please check with our usher or greeter when you come in, and they will get you online with those. Whoever you are the divine in expression, and you are welcome here. So we like to express this oneness with our statement of being, and I'd like to invite all of you to join me in affirming it together. There's only one presence and one power, active as my life and as the universe, God the good, omnipotent. Now, if you would, please join me in affirming our mission statement together. We are an inclusive spiritual community that restores wholeness, practices peace, and promotes equity. Unity is a positive, practical, progressive approach to Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. Unity respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path, and we are absolutely delighted that you've chosen to walk your path with us this morning. In Unity, we like to begin the things that we do with prayer. So won't you please join me now? Sweet Spirit, as we gather together in this beautiful place on this wonderful day, we remember all those who are hurting today, here at home and all around the world. We know that there are people whose lives are torn by war and suffering from lack, feeling the effects of hate. But we know, as much as we are inundated with those images, that there is much good in this world. We know that your love is still here, and people feel it. We know that your grace is still here, and people give it. We know that your abundance is here, and people share it. And wherever we are on our spiritual journey today, we remember the good, and we choose to make your love, your wisdom, your compassion part of our journey. And for this opportunity to take these steps together today, we are so very deeply grateful for this place, this time, and each other. We give thanks. So it is. Amen. All right, well, please join me in welcoming our music director, Todd Kimbrough, and our amazing band.
Hey, everybody. Yes, this week we are missing Eric, but he has been replaced by a robot. In the meantime, put your hands together for Tony Serzo on guitar and vocal, Brendan Neff on flute and vocals, and Jeff Peterson on bass. And everybody please stand as you are able, and we're going to sing This Is the Day. This is the day, this is the day, this is the brand new day my Lord has made, and I count it good. call it good. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. We're going to sing about the heart. This is the heart, this is the heart, this is the brand new heart my Lord has made, and I call it good. Oh, I call it good. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. The life. This is the life. This is the life. This is the brand new life my Lord has made, and I call it good. Oh, and I call it good. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. The joy. This is the joy. This is the joy. This is the brand new joy my Lord has made, and I call it good. Oh, I call it good. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. One more time. This is the day. This is the day. This is the day. This is the brand new day my Lord has made, and I call it good. Oh, I call it good. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. One more time. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. Five, six, seven. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. Please be seated, everybody. I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray.
So now's the time in our service when we move into meditation. So I invite you to just relax, get comfortable where you're seated. Lay aside anything that you may have been holding in your hands. If you've got anything that's heavy on your mind or weighing on your heart, I invite you to just do your best to set that aside for right now. It's okay. It'll be there. Let's just take a couple of nice deep breaths. As we settle into this place, this time, I invite you to just let the rest of the things all kind of flow down that river. One of the practices we use is to think of thoughts as sticks or twigs flowing down a stream. It's so easy to grab a hold of one and just head downstream with it. Next thing you know, we're a long way away from where we are, when we are. So very often our thoughts want to carry us into our past or into our future. And yet there is a presence. Sometimes we think of it as our third eye. It is the watcher, the awareness. It can see that we are thinking a thought. And it can let go. We can be present in that watcher, that conscious awareness of right here, right now. When we focus on our breath, that helps bring us to the seat of the watcher. Because breath is here now, moving between our body and the world. When we go within and see if there's something our body is trying to tell us, if we have a pain somewhere, if we have a tightness somewhere, we have butterflies in our stomach, we have goosebumps somewhere, it's here now, it's in our interaction of our body and our consciousness and the universe, and it's right here, right now. And that can help bring us back here. Until we can become aware of who we are, where we are, when we are. We are at the mercy of that thought stream. We are not our thoughts. We are the thinkers of our thoughts, and we can choose what we think or not to think. In this quiet place, in this quiet time, we can choose to let go of those external thoughts and move within, to allow ourselves some time to be in communion with the Spirit of the universe. God, presence, the higher power, the Spirit, all that is. This is truly what we in unity call communion this time. So now I invite you to just take a few moments to breathe, to sit in the seat of the third eye, and be one with the Spirit of all that is in the silence. when we gift ourselves with the opportunity to sit in silence. To release the thoughts. To become so aware we hear the air moving through the vents, the buzzing of the lights, the beating of our own hearts. In this connection to the present moment, there really truly is a peace that passes understanding. Given everything going on in that outside world, in our own lives, it may feel like it doesn't make sense, and yet there it is. It's right there. Spirit living in, through, and as us. That connection between our beating hearts and the furthest reaches of the depth of space. So vast and yet so intimate. When we allow ourselves to connect with the moments in which we live, we can genuinely be happy, genuinely feel peace, genuinely know joy, no matter what. For this gift, this precious treasure, and for the ability to experience it together, we give thanks. And we say, thank you, sweet Spirit. Thank you, God. So it is.
Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Pulling weeds, picking stones, man is made of dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow my own, 'cause the time is close at hand. Rain for rain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain to the music from the land. Plant your rows straight and long, temper them with prayer and song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. Old crow watching hungrily from his perch in yonder tree. In my garden I'm as free as that feathered thief up there. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. inch by inch, row by row. Someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down.
Thank you. It's really just the perfect song for what I'm going to be talking about. Thank you. Yeah. We're talking about the parable of the sower. And that's, for anybody that's confused, it's S-O-W, somebody, putting seed in the ground, not S-E-W, somebody making a hem. That's a different one. Jesus begins the parable of the sower with one of the most ordinary sights imaginable in the world in which he lived. A sower went out to sow. Pretty normal. Then the sower does something that, at least to our modern ears, probably sounds a little strange. He throws seeds everywhere. Some falls on the path where the birds eat it. Some falls on rocky ground where it springs up quickly, but it has no depth of root. Some falls among the thorns, which eventually choke it out. And some falls on good soil where it produces a harvest, 30, 60, even 100 times what was planted. Anybody here ever do gardening? I used to have to do it when I was a little kid. I hated it. Just absolutely hated it. My parents had some river bottom land down along the Ohio River, and had gardens every year, and I just despised it. Anyway, if you've ever planted anything, you might question this dude's technique, right? Why are you throwing perfectly good seed onto the road? Why aren't you clearing out the rocks and the weeds first? Don't you have a rototiller, buddy? See, we live in an age of precision agriculture where farmers can use GPS to put the perfect seed exactly where they want it. By comparison, Jesus' farmer seems almost recklessly inefficient. But I think that extravagance is part of the point. The sower doesn't first inspect the ground and decide which soil deserves the seed. The sower simply sows everywhere. We tend to focus on the soil and ask, well, what kind of soil am I? But before we get to the soil, we want to notice what Jesus says about the sower, because we're talking about God, right? God doesn't ration wisdom. God doesn't say, you look spiritually promising, so you're going to get some truth. You over there look a little rocky, so I'm not wasting any on you. Seed falls there too. Even the hardened path gets seed. Even the rocky places get seed. Even the places tangled up with thorns get seed. So there's something wonderfully extravagant about that image of God. Divine wisdom is not scarce. Divine love is not scarce. From a unity perspective, we might go further. Truth isn't just delivered to us from somewhere outside of ourselves, right? The presence of God is already within us. Divine understanding is one of our spiritual capacities, which every one of us is endowed with. Seed's already here, right? But there can be an enormous difference between hearing a truth and actually understanding it. We may already know the principles. God is present. Yeah. We are expressions of the divine. Yep. Love is stronger than fear. Right. Got it. We know these things, at least intellectually. But understanding is more than hearing words or agreeing with an idea. Understanding Understanding happens when the truth gets beneath the surface. Understanding. When it takes root, when it begins to change the way that we see and eventually the way we live, right? Jesus makes this connection explicit when he explains the parable. So in Scripture, there's a couple of parables where the disciples are so clueless. They're like, Lord, what were you saying there? This is one of the parables that he goes in and then tells them exactly what he meant. And he says, speaking about the seed that falls on good soil, he says, this is a person who hears the word and understands it. Not just hears it, understands it. And so that understanding is what produces the fruit. So, maybe Jesus isn't just saying, have you heard the truth? Right? Most of us have heard plenty of truth. The deeper question is, what happens when that truth reaches you? Does it bounce off the surface? Does it inspire us briefly and disappear when life becomes difficult or boring? Does it become tangled and everything else demanding our attention? Or does it find enough depth to take root? Because the seed isn't the problem, right? The question is the condition of the soil. And maybe the 4 soils that Jesus describes are not 4 different kinds of people at all. Maybe what they are is 4 different conditions of consciousness. And every one of us has probably known all of them. And I think that distinction matters because it's really easy to hear this parable and start sorting people. Right? I'm sure we all know people who seem like the hard path, right? We know people who are rocky soil. We certainly know people whose lives seem tangled with worries and distractions. It is always remarkably easy to identify somebody else's soil. I don't think Jesus gives us this parable so that we can become spiritual soil inspectors. I think he gives it to us so we can look at our own consciousness. Because the truth is, if I'm being honest, I've been all these kinds of soils. We probably all have. There are times when we're the path. Ground's become hard. Maybe we've been hurt. Or maybe we've just become so certain of what we already believe that there's no room for anything new to get in. And here's something that's interesting about a path. Ground becomes hard because it has been walked on over and over again. Right? Our consciousness can work the same way. When we think the same thought enough times, react the same way enough times, tell the same story enough times, eventually it becomes packed down. That's just the way things are. That's just the way I am. That's just the way they are. That person's never going to change. And then the truth falls on us, but it can't take root. Sometimes we're rocky ground, and that's the soil that receives the seed. Jesus says it even springs up quickly. Like, we hear an idea and we think, yeah, that's it. From now on, I'm going to meditate every morning. From now on, I'm going to respond with love instead of anger. And then Tuesday happens. That spiritual principle that sounded so wonderful in the sanctuary on Sunday has to survive contact with the real world. It's like in the Army, we have that old saying, no plan of battle survives first contact with the enemy. There's a whole lot of corollaries we could come up with. No New Year's resolution survives contact with February. Could go on. So the problem isn't that the seed doesn't grow, it's just that it doesn't have any depth. There's a difference between being inspired by a truth and becoming rooted in it, you know. Then there's the thorns. And I think this is probably maybe the most familiar to us in the modern world. There's just too much growing out there. Jesus describes the thorns. I love this. This is, I mean, it's like 2,000 years ago, and the dude's still talking about us, right? He describes the thorns as the cares of the world and the lure of wealth. Isn't that good? 2,000 years later, yeah, we've developed a few additional varieties. There's emails and deadlines and news alerts and social media and the phone vibrating in our pocket. Yeah, you know, none of these necessarily makes us spiritually deficient, but they compete for our attention. And whatever receives our attention receives a portion of our life energy. You know, so the truth can be growing within us, and then it gets crowded out by everything else we're feeding. You know, which brings us finally to the good soil. You know, we can hear good soil and imagine spiritually advanced people who have finally gotten everything right. They meditate every day. They never lose their temper. They always remember their reusable grocery bags. Maybe they're even vegan. Sorry. They're good soil people, right? You know, but Jesus doesn't say that the good soil is perfect soil. It's soil in which the seed can take root and bear fruit. It's receptive. It has depth. It has room. You know, and most importantly for our theme this month, Jesus describes the good soil person as one who hears the word and understands it. Understanding allows the seed to become something more than an idea. And I think that's why these soils are better understood, not as four categories of people, but as four conditions of consciousness. You know, I can be good soil about one thing and be rocky soil about another. Right? I can be receptive on Sunday morning and completely hardened by Monday afternoon. The soil changes. The good thing is that what that means is probably the most hopeful thing about this whole parable may be something that Jesus doesn't ever really say out loud. Soil can be cultivated. Hard ground can be loosened. Rocks can be removed. Thorns can be cleared. When I read that, I think of Brian out there tearing away all the blackberries and making room for our labyrinth, right? The condition of our consciousness is not fixed. You know, so instead of asking, what soil am I? Maybe the better question is, what am I doing to cultivate my soil? You know, this is where another spiritual tradition, and on the fourth Sunday of the month, I always like to do a little talk, you know, from world religions. This is where another spiritual tradition has something particularly useful to teach us. Sikhism gives us practices for cultivating the kind of consciousness in which understanding can take root. For those of you unfamiliar with it, Sikhism began in the Punjab region of South Asia around the turn of the 16th century with Guru Nanak and developed through the teachings of the gurus who followed him. And one of the things that I appreciate about the Sikh tradition is that spiritual understanding isn't just treated as something we know. It is something we practice. There's a Sikh concept called Gyan, which we might translate as spiritual knowledge, wisdom, understanding. But Gyan isn't just about collecting information about God. You can read every book, memorize every scripture. You can even become a minister. none of that necessarily means that the seed has taken root. Trust me. Spiritual understanding has to become lived understanding. And Sikhism gives us some practical ways of cultivating the soil in which that understanding can grow. So 3 of them I want to talk about today are particularly helpful for us. Nam Simran, Seva, and Sangat. The first is Nam Simran. Nam refers to the divine name, and Simran to remembrance. We might think of Nam Simran as the practice of remembering the divine. It can include repeating or meditating upon the divine name, but the deeper purpose is continually returning our awareness to the presence of God. So if you're familiar with unity, that might sound a little familiar. We might call it practicing the presence. We might call it prayer. We might call it going into the silence. How many of us are familiar with Emmett Fox's little pamphlet, The Golden Key? Right? Just whatever your problem is, put your mind on God. Right? That's Nam Simran. It's a different language, different tradition, but it's still this beautiful point of connection. We are training our attention because our attention wanders. We wake up intending to be peaceful, loving, centered spiritual beings. And then we check our phones. Before you know it, the thorns are growing again. But Nam Simran says, remember, come back. Return your attention to the divine. The second practice is seva, selfless service. I found it interesting when I was doing this research. Selfless service is actually one of the Army values. Not just service, selfless service. If you visit a Gurdwara, a Sikh place of worship, you may encounter langar, the community kitchen in which a meal is prepared and offered freely to everyone. It kind of warmed my heart knowing that we don't call it these words, but we do the exact same things. They offer it not just to Sikhs, but to everyone. People sit and eat together, just like we do, without distinction of wealth, social status, caste, religion, or background. And just like here, the meal doesn't magically appear. People cook it, people serve it, people wash the dishes. That work is itself spiritual practice. That's something I know that those of you who spend a lot of time in our kitchen have probably discovered. And thank you to all of you who do that work, because it is selfless service. Seva. This tells us something important about understanding. Some truths have to be practiced before they can be understood. You can study compassion, but there's an understanding of compassion that only comes when you're sitting with someone who's hurting. You can study generosity, but there's an understanding of generosity that only comes when you give. You can study human unity, but there's an understanding of unity that only comes when you serve someone that you thought of as the other. Seva works the soil because it moves the truth from the mind into the hands. Yeah? And then there is Sangat. And Sangat means community. The fellowship of people gathered around spiritual purpose. None of us forms our consciousness entirely by ourselves. You spend enough time around frightened people and fear can begin to feel like common sense. You spend enough time around angry people and anger can begin to feel like wisdom. You spend enough time around cynical people, and cynicism can begin to feel like intelligence. But if you spend time with people genuinely trying to be more loving, compassionate, awake, and generous, then something else becomes possible. And that's one of the reasons that spiritual communities just like this one matter. You know, it's not because God takes attendance. It's not because you're going to get extra spiritual credit for showing up here on Sunday morning. Right? We gather because sometimes somebody else remembers when we forget. Sometimes somebody else holds hope when ours is running low. Sometimes somebody else sees something that we can't see yet. And sometimes we just show up to be held in arms that love us and be seen by eyes that see us for who we really are. So that's what makes these seek practices such an interesting companion to the parable of the sower. Jesus shows us the seed falling on the ground that's hard, shallow, crowded, or ready. Seek practice asks us, what are you doing about the soil? Nam Simran says, return your attention to God. Seva says, put spiritual truth into action. Sangat says, surround yourself with a community that helps you. It helps you remember who you're becoming. Attention, action, community. 3 ways of cultivating understanding. You know, we don't have to manufacture the seed. The truth's already present. Our work is to prepare a place where it can grow. So let's go back to Jesus' farmer. The seed goes everywhere. On the path, among the rocks, into the thorns, and onto the good soil. You know, and maybe after we look at that parable through the lens of seek spiritual practice, we can hear something we might otherwise miss. You know, the farmer's job is to sow the seed. Our spiritual work is to tend the soil. Not because we need to earn the seed, and not because God's waiting for us to be spiritually sufficient before offering us the wisdom or the love or the grace. The seed's already been scattered. Our work is to become more receptive to what's already here. And I think that's why this parable belongs in our month of understanding. Understanding isn't just knowing more things. It's developing the capacity to receive the truth deeply enough that it changes us. And that takes some cultivation. Sometimes it means noticing when our consciousness has become hardened. Maybe there's an idea we just refuse to consider, a person we have reduced to a label. Maybe there's an old story about ourselves that we've repeated so many times that it has become packed down like a well-traveled road. Sometimes cultivation means removing the rocks, those places where we love a spiritual principle right up until where we have to live it. Sometimes it means pulling the weeds, the worries, distractions, and endless noise that leave no room for what matters most. So the seek practices that we've looked at give us something practical. Nam Simran says, remember, bring your attention back to the divine. Seva says, serve, put spiritual truth into action. And Sangat says, don't do it alone. Find people who will help you remember and help someone else remember too. Because none of us is permanently one kind of soil. A hardened field can be broken open. Rocks can get removed. Thorns can be cleared. Soil can be enriched. What can't receive soil seed today may become fertile ground tomorrow. You know, there are truths I understand today that I simply could not have understood 25 years ago. And there are probably some truths that I can't understand today that maybe someday I will, I hope. The seed may have already fallen. It's just waiting for the soil to change. And that's probably true of all of us, you know. Other people. Sometimes we get frustrated because somebody we love can't see what seems obvious to us. We explain, we argue, we send them the article. Right? We explain again, only louder this time. Nothing happens. So maybe our job isn't to force the seed into the ground. Maybe our job is just to keep sowing, keep loving, keep serving, and trust that the soil changes. Jesus ends this parable with an astonishing image of abundance. The good soil produces 30-fold, 60-fold, 100-fold. You know, the point isn't just that the seed survives, it multiplies. Truth that is genuinely understood becomes fruitful. Love that is genuinely understood becomes loving action. Compassion that is genuinely understood becomes service. Unity that is genuinely understood changes the way we see the stranger. Forgiveness that's genuinely understood changes the way we carry the past. Understanding produces something. And maybe that's ultimately how we know whether a spiritual truth has really taken root. You know, not because we can explain it, not because we can quote it, not because we agree with it, but because somewhere in our lives, something has begun to grow. Right? So for this week, maybe the question isn't, what kind of soil am I? But the better question is, how does my soil need tending? Right? Where have I become hardened? Where do I need deeper roots? What thorns need clearing? Remember, serve, gather, listen, practice, and trust the seed, because the sower is still sowing. Truth is still being given. Understanding is still unfolding. And every one of us is capable of becoming good soil. Not just hearing the truth, not just knowing the truth, but understanding it deeply enough that it takes root and becomes a harvest. Amen.
High time we made a stand, shook up the views of the common man. The love train, rising coast to coast. DJ's the man we love the most. Could you be squeaky clean? Smash every hole with the micro C. As the headline says you're free to choose. There's egg on your face and mud on your shoes. One of these days they're gonna count it the blues. Sowing the seeds of love, seeds of love. Sowing the seeds of love, seeds of love. Sowing skies for some kind of divine intervention. Who goes to waste? So nice to eat, so nice to taste. Politician granny with your high ideals, have you no idea how the majority feels? So without love and a government plan, we kick out the style and baby bam. We kick out the style, bring back the jam. Sowing the seeds of love, seeds of love. Sowing the seeds, sowing the seeds of love, seeds of love. Sowing the seeds, the birds and the bees, friends and me. Sowing the seeds of love, sowing the seeds, sowing the seeds of love, sowing the seeds of love, looking the seeds of love. Time to eat all your words, swallow your pride, open your eyes. Time to eat all your words, swallow your pride, open your eyes. High time we better stand, shook up the views of common man. The love train rides from coast to coast, every minute of every hour. I love a sunflower, and I believe love power, love power, love power. Sowing the seeds of love, seeds of love. Sowing the seeds, sowing the seeds of love, seeds of love. Sowing the seeds, sowing the seeds of love. We're sowing love seeds, sowing the seeds into need, the politics of greed. Sowing the seeds of love, seeds of love. Sowing the seeds, sowing the seeds of love, the seeds of love. Sowing the seeds of love. We're sowing love seeds, sowing the seeds of love.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. That was wonderful. All right, so now it's time in our service when we give back to this place where we get spiritually fed. And we're going to do it with our usual sacred walk of abundance. And it looks like Jerry's going to direct traffic today. Yeah, come on down. All right. So the way we do this, if you're new, is instead of passing the bag or the basket or the hats, we have everybody come down front because in addition to giving, we want you to receive something. And what we like to let everybody have is a little something that you can take home for the week. I call these spiritual vitamin pills. It's actually just an affirmation. Mine says, "My faith is unshakable, for it is anchored in God." Okay. I kind of need that one. That's a good one. All right. So if you're on this side, after you visit the bowl, if you're going to give physically today, then you grab one from that little bowl and go around that way. You folks on this side, you do that with this bowl and go around that way, and we'll keep the aisle kind of clear that way. All right, so first thing we'll do is we're going to bless up our tithes and love offerings with the offering affirmation that is on the screen behind me together. I give freely and fearlessly, fulfilling the law of giving and receiving. This is the bounty of God, and I send it forth with wisdom and joy. And so it is. All right.
right on board. Let this train keep on riding, riding on through.
People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. All you brothers and sisters over in Africa, tell all the folks in Egypt and Israel too. Please don't miss this train at the station, 'cause if you miss it, I feel sorry, sorry for you. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, talk about it. Join hands, join, start a love train, love train. Let it ride, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love
Sing it with us
train.
now.
People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, a love train. Yeah.
Sweet Spirit, we give thanks for these tithes and love offerings, and we send them forth to do the work of Spirit as lived and taught by our brother and way shower, Jesus the Christ. We see each gift returning to the giver, not just tenfold or even 100-fold, but 1,000-fold, a good measure, heaped up, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And so it is. Okay. So Tony is going to do some announcements for us.
I am going to do announcements.
Okay.
I'm having a little tech problem because my iPad is not pulling them up. I keep getting the little spinning circle.
There you go. Just turn around and,
I'm going to go from there.
Just riff. You'll be fine.
One-on-one prayer following the service. Our prayer chaplain today is Shelley, I believe. And she's back in, oh, there she is. Hi, Shelley. And so, just come up front. Shelley will be off stage left, I think that is. Anyway, and she will pray with you. There's also prayer cards in the seat backs in front of you, and you can put those in the prayer box at the south entrance. And if you're online, our website is bellevue.org. Go to the pray page, and you can fill out your prayer request, and it will be forwarded to the prayer chaplains. So there's that. Lunch following the service, Women Connect. Thank you all very much. Yay. I don't remember what lunch is today, but it'll be a surprise. The Diving Deeper small group is, I believe, in the Zen room today, and that's at 12:30. Yoga and tea. We're still rooting for Ruth. She's making good progress. She was here last week and looking good. August 10th is what we're hoping will be the next yoga and tea service. And then there's a board meeting Wednesday at 4, and that'll be here, but also available on Zoom if you're interested in joining. One parish, one prisoner. We have the kickoff meeting is going to be Sunday, August 23rd at 12:30, and that is a training. So those of you who signed up, and thank you all, it was a robust group. I think we had 13, 14 people sign up that they were interested. This is a beautiful thing that this church is going to do for someone who is soon to be emerging from prison and needs friends, and we're going to provide that. So anyway, keep the date on your calendar, August 23rd. And then my last announcement is the chairs on this side of the sanctuary need to be stacked up and off to the side. We've got the Lifeline health screenings coming in this week, and they'll be using some of the space in the sanctuary. So if you all can just help with that, and then we'll find somebody later in the week to put them back. But yeah, if you can just do that after the service, that would be lovely. And with that, I would like to invite you to stand as you are able and join us in singing the peace song.
Peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now.
Right now.
With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us.
We are the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
We are the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
We are the power of God.
And the presence of God watches over us.
We are the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a great week, Unity.
5, 6, 7, 8.
You add so much. Yeah, really.
This is a prayer for the love within us. This is a prayer to release our hearts. This is a prayer that we carry with us. This is a prayer for who we really are.